Yo, what is going on, guys? It is midnight, bringing you yet again another video. Now in today's video we're actually going to be playing Punishing Grey Raven, and we're going to be talking about the Warzone mode, which is essentially a ranking event where you'll compete against other players to rank in a system where you'll get rewards based on where you're placed and get promoted up to higher divisions where you play higher players who are probably more at your skill level, with higher level troops and more units. Now we're going to jump straight in. So this guide's kind of going to explain to you on everything you need to know about the event, from teams, and explain to you all of the rankings and rewards. So here we are. Once you get enough through the story, you will unlock this mode, and you will see a screen like this when you first load it up. Now this over here on the left is the rankings of your bracket. You are placed in brackets with other people. Now I'm on EU, but this is not every single EU player in the game. This is just the group of people that I've been placed with, and you'll be placed in random teams. Now these teams will only have players in your team that are in the same bracket as you. However, when you go to team ranking, you'll see everyone else's teams. So these are teams from all other brackets, but the people on your squad, firstly, are picked at random, and secondly, are always in your bracket here. So you will not be able to be partnered up with your friend who's in another bracket. Now the team ranking rewards, there is actually no actual solid reason besides from bragging rights to get high on this, because you do not get any rewards at all wherever you get placed. It's just kind of to see what kind of players and what teams are at the top. You can't actually see what team compositions they have, but if you click on, for example, the first guy here, it'll kind of show you their account, and that's about it. So not too much to the team ranking, it's just a little bit more competitive if you care about ranking highly. However, you have no control over this, because you might get a team that are not active in the event, or you might get a team that are really good, and you might get everyone who's top 3 in your bracket on the same team, which are probably the top teams there. You also get some missions here which you can complete fairly easily, which, yeah, overall just kind of do the event, which I'm going to get through in a moment, and you'll get these rewards here. So there's no reason for you not to do these. You won't be able to do them on the first day. You will have to wait until 2 days of the event to be able to get all of them. And this event does run every Monday and Thursday, so you get about 3 days to do this event, 3.5 days or so every time. And with this event, depending on where you're placed, you will get promoted, demoted, or you'll stay in the division that you're at. Since the game's only just come out, everyone's in the backup division, but if you're placed in the top 15 in your division, you will get promoted, and you'll get some rewards here, which I'm going to go through in the shop in a moment. As you go up the ranks, you will be able to obviously start getting demoted once you go up from the first one, which will still give you rewards, but it means that you'll have to work your way up again to get the better rewards. Eventually you'll get to the top division, and when you get to the top division, you can only really defend until they add more, which there's a few gaps here, so they will be adding 2 more divisions, I think, maybe 3. But you ideally want to get to this top division and just keep placing here to get the maximum rewards at the time being. And with these rewards, you'll be able to buy memories here. Now these memories, you'll be able to buy 6 and 5-star alike. I can't really say to you which ones to get in particular, because depending on what character you're using and depending on what build you're using, any of these can be good. For example, there's a couple of 6-star ones that are quite good. Codalina is quite a good one for attackers. As you can see here, you increase your basic damage by 15%. And if you have the 4 set, then you do get a 25% chance to go berserk, which increases your damage and your crit rate. So yeah, there's a couple of good ones in here. But ideally, just, decide on what you're going to build on, what character you're going to main, and then you're going to be able to decide on what memories to buy with your currency. It's going to take a while to get some currency at the moment, because obviously we're in the lower divisions, but over time it's a good way to get good memories. Now when you go into the event here, at the moment we have 2 areas. We have the fire and we have the lightning area. There are 3 more areas. One of them down here is ice, which you can't really see available at the moment, and the other one's dark. And the one on the far left here, where it says machine factory, which is locked, is just physical damage increase. Now each area will have an increase in damage depending on which one you're at. So for example, the fire one will give you a 30% increase in fire damage for the whole event from the first, second and third area. And then the lightning one will give you 30% lightning damage, and so on and so forth. Now on this, you'll have 3 areas. Area 1 and 2 are pretty easy. You can maximize the points from this pretty easily. You can get 10k from the first and 20k from the second. The last area, you can get unlimited amount of points. Essentially, it's how strong you are and how well you can do. Now, to get points, you need to deal as much damage as you can to enemies, survive as many waves as possible, and clear through them as quickly as possible. And also to have the most amount of health possible that you can have. So if you complete a run without taking any damage, then you'll get the maximum amount of points for that, which is 20,000 in the last area, that is. And the other two areas, so dealing damage and the waves, they've got a no cap because they're endless, so you can get as many points as you can on that. Down here at the bottom left, you'll see the top 3 players in your division or in your bracket in this area that you're looking at here. So this is a fire area, these are the top 3 in my area, and lightning is so on and so forth. Now, a couple of tips when doing this is, for the areas, you want to kind of use units that are resemblance to that element. So for example, the fire one is the only one that's, or no, the lightning one. The fire one's got a few units that you can use, which I'm going to show you now. So a couple of good people to use for the fire one is, you've got Nanami is my one here. She's a tank, but if you build her with DPS, which I haven't got at the moment, I'm just kind of putting on, you know, just random memories at the moment. But she's a good fire unit. So the way to find out is if you click on details, it'll be able to tell you what they do here. So she's pretty strong in terms of fire. However, she is a tank, so she does lack. The best unit is actually Ember. She's an S rank unit down here. She's probably the best unit for the fire one at the moment. So if you have her, you can, and you build her up really well, you can get quite a high amount of points in the fire division. Another couple of good ones are Lee. The A rank Lee, he's got fire damage, as well as the regular Lucia. So if you have any of those 2 S units, then use those. If not, if you have Lee, then use Lee. If not, then Lucia would be your best bet. But otherwise, you can really use anyone. Like, you can use any DPS, but if you want to get that 30% extra damage on that fire, then those units there are quite good. The electric one that we have, the second event, there are really only 2 units that excel in this a lot. The first one, and being the best one, is Lucia Dawn, which is my main character here. She does a significant amount of electric damage, and she attacks very fast, and not to mention she is an attacker, so she just naturally is good at dealing damage. And then the second one is actually Liv Lux here, so the A rank Liv. She's also quite good because she does electric damage. However, she doesn't really do as much damage as Dawn Lucia over here, but she is also really good to have for this event. But since we don't really have any electric characters besides from these 2, you can use anyone for this event. But if you want to excel and get the highest score possible, then using Lucia and or Liv are going to be your best course of action, putting damage memories on them as well. So you can see with my Dawn, this is my setup here. She pretty much does a lot of damage. The other thing as well that you want to do is, when you go into this, because you do have unlimited attempts at doing this, I'm not going to actually do a run, but when you're doing this, make sure your leader, for example in the electric one, I use Dawn because she had an increase of 10% to all of my attacker constructs, so she does an extra 10% damage just for being the first in the party. Now I haven't actually like tried too hard in this. I've just kind of done a few runs, trying to ensure that I'll get promoted, because I do want to kind of get promoted and get some of the currency to buy some of these rewards. You can actually buy one of these 6-star rewards in the first bracket. However, it's going to be very, very time consuming, and it's really not worth it. I don't think it's going to take a lot of time. So if you go to achievements here and go to battle and scroll down, if you do 300 attacks on Warzone, you will get enough currency to buy at least 1 6-star. Now, there's no rush at all to do this, but if you really, really want a 6-star memory, then you can just do the Warzone 300 times. But yeah, essentially that is it. Hopefully this guide does help you guys in the Warzone event, and I am going to be covering more content on this game as more content comes out. And I've got a few more videos planned. However, I don't have any stamina at the minute, so I can't really do too much at the moment. But the Warzone guide should help you guys. And eventually, as time goes on, we'll be able to have more Warzones to do and more characters to build to do better in those Warzones. Well, hopefully this helped a lot. Take care, guys, and peace out.